What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is the season finale of Games People Play. So all the questions are answered and some new ones are asked. All right. So let's go ahead and get this party started. So we know that Vanessa King didn't show up when the police, wasn't there when the police came to get her for her DNA sample. Come to find out, they done hid Vanessa King. She's hiding with Golden Goddess because, of course, they said we put her in the one place that the police would never think to find her. Okay, so she's with Golden Goddess. And remember, I don't know if I remember to say this at the end of my review last week or not, but the African guy, this was weird. He found Golden Goddess and he told her that her friend being killed, that Susie Q being killed was an accident. She jumped off the boat and she drowned. That they did not kill her, and that he was there to protect her from anybody that was out to get her. And so he's there protecting Miss Golden Goddess and Vanessa, who just happens to be not happens to be who's hiding out there. Now Terrence is following Nia because of course they dangling this promotion in front of him, and they're like, "Look, we really need to find Vanessa King. If you can help us find Vanessa King, it could be a promotion in it for you." And so he um he follows her to Golden Goddess's apartment. He ain't quite sure that Vanessa's in there, but he knows something is up. And honey, everybody is stalking everybody. So come to find out, Eric got a low jack on Terrence so that he know where Terrence is. If anytime he come within any type of close proximity to Nia, the police officer got a low jack on Terrence so that he'll know where Terrence is. And he knew that Terrence had been sitting in front of Golden Goddess's apartment all this for like 3 hours. But so he said something ain't right about that. Like he keep telling me he don't have nothing, but he been sitting in the same spot in front of this girl apartment for the last 3 hours. And so, his partner was like, yeah, that doesn't make sense because, that's the woman that slept with that's the woman that slept with with her husband. That's the last place she'd be, right? And then they kind of looked at each other like, yeah, that's the last place she'd be. So of course they make a beeline over there. Terrence calling Nia saying, get your ass out the apartment because the police are on the way. Eric is calling Nia saying, get your ass out the apartment because Terrence is outside stalking you. And of course, Nia is like, how do either one of y'all know where the hell I am? But they get out the apartment just in time. Just they get out of the apartment just in time before the police get there. Now, before that, remember they still got Roxanne's phone from last week. It wasn't any information on the phone, but the phone starts ringing. They get to the phone, and Vanessa sees the phone and says, "Wait a minute, that number looks familiar. That's uh shit. What's the face? The Jackie." Vanessa Simmons in real life, Vanessa Simmons character, the basketball player, the basketball mother, um, head of the little basketball crew or whatever. And she was like, how in the world, what is she doing calling Roxanne? Well, before they could put their heads together and come up with something, Nia done already responded, talking about some, hey girl. And they were like, and Golden Goddess was like, Roxanne would never say, hey girl. Like, you didn't blew it. So, of course, Jackie responds back, talking about some, who's this? And they knew that they knew their cover was blown, and so that was kind of a dead end. But they're starting to connect some dots here, try to make a connection because they're like, what in the world? They said, and Vanessa was like, um, I remember the night we were at the gallery, I remember seeing her. And she was like, what, like, hold on now. What's she got to do with all of this? So, okay. Then we see Kareem meeting up with Marcus. Now Marcus then already went and talked to Eric, and Eric was like, "Look, Vanessa is good. She's cool. Just chill out. She's all right." Kareem is telling Marcus like, "Look, I appreciate all that you've done for me, but I got a mouse. Like, it's time for me to really venture out on my own and do my own thing." And Marcus was like, "Really, dude? Like, now? You couldn't wait until all this blows over? Like, you got to leave me high and dry right now?" And Kareem was like, "Look, I get it. I understand, but, you know, it's really time for me to go." And Marcus was like, I understand." He was like, um, I understand. He said, this life ain't all it's cracked up to be, is it? And Kareem was like, look, I tell you what, with everything that you're going through, look around you right now. Would you switch places with me? Marcus was like, you got a point. You got a point. And so they he says, look, man, but I'm gonna take care of you. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and give my man a call. Great, drop something in your account. You be straight for a minute. So, Kareem was like, I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. So he ended up calling his old girl back, Quanisha. And I guess they back together or whatever. We'll get to them. We'll get back to them in a minute. So, matter of fact, let's go on and finish them up because they ain't even a big part of this storyline. So what happened was Marcus must have given um Kareem a lump sum like $250,000. Remember, Jamal wanted $300,000 to start his business. Kareem done cashed that money out and gave it to Jamal. And Quanisha was like, why are you giving him all of your money? Like, Marcus finally gives you some money, some real money, and you gonna give it to Jamal? And Kareem was like, this the only way that we're gonna get this monkey off our back. Like, until I pay him off, he's gonna always be lurking. So I'd rather give him give him the money, get him off my back so that we can move on and do what we can move on with our life. And of course, Quanisha was like, So they end up getting in the car, and that damn ungrateful ass Jamal talking about something, you $50,000 short. He was like, are you serious right now? Like, I just gave you $250,000. Like, but he doesn't realize that is coming from Kareem. He thinks that Marcus finally paid him the money that he wanted. So he's thinking Marcus done shorted me $350,000. So he's being selfish, but he's not being as selfish as it seems like he's being because he doesn't know this is coming from Kareem. So while they get to arguing, Jamal has a heart attack. And Kareem getting ready to call the police, and Quanisha was like, what you doing? I mean, call the paramedics. He was like, we got to call the ambulance. She was like, look, he dead. Get the money and let's go. Can't nobody save him. She's like, this is our chance. This is our opportunity to get out of this. He ain't deserve the money anyway. Get that bag and let's roll. So they leave him. And the last thing we see of Jamal is him laid over like the. I don't know whether he did or just passed out. I'm sure if this gets picked up for a second season, I'm sure he's still alive because he's gonna be coming back for some vengeance. We'll get to that. Now, the whole time that this is going on, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's important at the end. If you remember to the first episode when Nia set that, well, she didn't really set the pastor up. The pastor set himself up. She just took the pictures and published them. When the pastor was in the sex club and got caught up, well, he's out of rehab. And the whole episode, he's in the background doing his TV show. And he's like, look, I know who set me up and I'm coming for you. And so he kept saying that the whole episode. Like, they just kept showing him in snippets here and there. Like, I know, he's coming for you. I'm coming for you. I know who did it. I'm coming for you. So at the very end, I'll get to that. I'll say that at the very end. Or will I forget? Anyway, at the very end, Nia and Eric are having a moment and it's playing in the background. And see, the whole episode, he had just been saying, I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you. But this time he got very specific. He was like, you can leave Brooklyn and move to LA if you want to, but I'm going to find you. God going to find you. You can leave whatever, and go to whatever her new magazine is. I'm coming for you. I'm going to find you. And of course, that got both of them going, looking at the TV like, oh shit, like he knows it's us for real. Because up until that point, you don't know whether he really, deep dive. That's a deep dive. Like up until that point, you don't know whether he really, really knows if it's them or not. But when he gets that specific, then they know, oh, it's them. So that's another little cliffhanger they left us with. So if it gets picked up for a season 2, we're going to definitely, I'm sure the pastor going to be coming for revenge. So Marcus packs up the baby, takes the baby over to Jackie and her husband's house, Devin, I believe, over to their house. Honey, they got on matching velour sweatsuits. I said, the three of them, her, the husband, and the baby. I said, Lord have mercy, they are in matching velour sweatsuits. Okay. And and Devin is like, look, man, Marcus, whatever you need, we're here for you. He was like, no, I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching the baby. I just got some stuff I got to take care of. Marcus ends up going to the police station and turning himself in, right? Okay. So the head detective on this, he ain't buying it. They were like, of course they had this whole, they clapping each other up, celebrating that they got Marcus King and they arrested Marcus King and he confessed. But dude is like, I don't think he did it. He was like, I just don't think that he did it. And his partner's like, man, are you stupid? He had means, motive, and opportunity. Like, why are you not taking this win? And he was like, cause it just It's too easy. It's too wrapped up, and it just don't make no sense. So Vanessa ends up, she leaves when they had to flee from the police. Next thing you know, we see her at the winery that she bought with Jackie and the other lady. They're at the winery together. And oh boy, I think his name is Daniel, the white boy she was from law school. He done bought her some food and all this other stuff. And he's like, anything you need, anything else you need. Well, guess what else he done bought her? A pregnancy test. And she tells him, look, I love my husband. I mean, he just turned himself in for murder for me, for God's sake. Like, and he was like, look, I understand. I just want to be here for you. I just, I get it. I get it. You with your husband, you ain't leaving him, but I just want you to know I'm here for you. So she got a whole nother set of issues that she got to deal with, okay? So next thing you know, we see, here's where all the dots start getting connected. Miss Roxanne done rolled up into Jackie's house. Well, come to find out, Jackie is the one running this whole scheme, I shouldn't call it a whole scheme, running this whole what's the word I'm looking for? Escort service to begin with. Roxanne was just the front. It was really Jackie running it the whole time. And so, and you can tell by the way Roxanne is acting that Roxanne is scared to death. Now, remember, Roxanne had to close up shop and get up real quick. So she's there to let her know, look, we got everything set back up and we got some girls here I need you to approve of. So they get to swiping. She's like, okay, yeah, she's acceptable. She's acceptable. Tell her she need Botox. Then they get to a man and she says, oh, rewind, because I'll let you know. Nia and her assistant are trying to go through all the different scenarios. And they get to Jackie and Devin. And her assistant is like, oh, Devin is gay. And Nia was like, what you mean he gay? How you know? And her assistant looked at him and was like, because I'm a gay man, I know. You know what I mean? Like, gave her that look like, because I'm a gay man and I know. So when they swiping through, fast forward again. So when they swiping through these people, they get to a nice looking guy, buff and, nice looking. And Roxanne says, oh, that was for Devin. So that's like, let you know that, this is one of those undercover worst / best kept secrets about him being gay. So Nia and her assistant, I know his name in real life. I just keep forgetting his name on the show, y'all. They end up finding out which paparazzi was the one that was selling out the Kings, and come to find out once again that role leads back to Jackie. That Jackie, was tipping him information, and that's how the paparazzi kept knowing what was going on with the Kings the whole time. So Daniel goes over to Jackie's and gets her to sign the paperwork. Remember, they were trying to buy the winery using a shell company from Vanessa. And he was like, you didn't have to lie to Vanessa. I mean, she understands, that everything is really hot and complicated with her right now. Y'all could have just been upfront with her. She was just more bothered by the fact that y'all lied than that y'all didn't want to be partners anymore. So he gets her to sign off on the paperwork, and then he gets her, you know, basically he gets her to sign to seal an envelope. Well, they end up submitting that the police end up submitting that envelope for DNA testing, but they submit it as if it's Vanessa's DNA and not Jackie's DNA. So while Vanessa is still hiding out, her attorney calls her and says they got the DNA back and it's a match. Now y'all know DNA don't come back that quick, but okay, we're gonna go along with it. And her attorney was like, look, it's nothing I can do for you now. Like, they got a DNA match. You on the run. I can't help you. And Vanessa was like, don't worry about it. I got it now. I got it. Because while she was at the vineyard, the other basketball wife, the white girl, she gets caught down there. And Vanessa basically gets her to spill all the tea. She tells them how Jackie is the one running the damn it, why I keep how damn it, y'all know what I'm talking about, the escort service. Why I keep going out my brain? She's the one running the escort service. That it started off because they wanted to basically be able to control who their husbands were sleeping with and know what was going on. She admitted to her that it was Golden Goddess was a setup from the beginning, that they knew that Marcus had slept with Golden Goddess all along, and that the whole thing was a setup, and that Devin is gay, and that everybody knows that too. And she was like, "Well, you ain't supposed to know that." Well, I do. So now they know. Like they're connecting all of the dots. So Vanessa takes off, and she was like, "Where you going?" She said, "I'm going to go get my baby." So Vanessa shows up at Jackie's house to come and get her daughter. Honey, Jackie done dressed Vanessa's baby up in a velour suit too. She said, "Do you have my daughter in a matching outfit?" Now I want to know where the hell she got one from with such short notice, but okay. And Vanessa's like, you know, she was like, "You shouldn't have come here. The police are on their way. Like, you better hurry up and get out of here. The police are on their way." But of course, Vanessa's like, "I'm not without my baby." She's like, "I'm not leaving my baby here." She was like, "You're a little unhinged right now." You know, because Jackie's real calm and cool because she still thinks she's holding all the cards. She was like, she was like, "You need to go, you know, the police are on their way. You need to go ahead before the police, you know, before the police show up." And she was like, "Not without my baby." She was like, "I tell you what, you can either hand my baby over to me or I'm going to shoot you." And she pulls the gun out her bag because, of course, she still got Marcus's gun, honey. She pulls the gun out the bag. And as she's doing that, the police, you can hear the police sirens, you can hear a helicopter in the air. And I was like, "Oh, Lord, now they about to shoot her ass," because she's standing there holding the daggone gun. But the police are standing behind her like, "Drop the gun. We got the DNA sample, drop the gun. We know it's her, drop the gun." And so she finally gets, while she's talking, she gets Jackie to admit that, you know, her husband is gay and, you know, all this other stuff. Now, while this is going on, the husband is coming up behind her and he is able to grab the baby away from her, and the police end up arresting her because they had the DNA sample from the envelope. And even though initially they had the name Vanessa on it, I guess somehow they figured out that it was Jackie's. And Terrence was the one that actually submitted the DNA sample. He submitted it under the wrong name to get it processed because, remember, he wasn't officially on the case, but that was the only way he could get it processed. But he knew, and I guess he kept enough proof to know who the DNA really belonged to. So they ended up arresting Jackie. Now, here's how the whole thing went down. Jackie had actually was the one that killed Kalinda. So they rewind 3 months earlier. Kalinda shows up at Jackie's house. She's thinking she's there for a date. Come to find out, Jackie called her to come because Jackie was like, "Look, you've been messing with Marcus King. You were told to have an abortion and was paid good money to do it, and that's what I need you to do." And Kalinda was like, "You ain't about to tell me what I can and can't do." She was like, "Matter of fact, ain't your husband gay? Isn't that what you need to be worried about?" So they get to arguing or whatever. And Kalinda was like, "Matter of fact, you know, you don't have nothing to say to me because when I get ready to get up out of here," you know, basically she threatened to tell everybody, you know, like, "You better leave me alone or I'm going to tell everybody that you really running this whole enterprise and your husband's gay." Next thing you know, they get to tussling and tussling. Kalinda falls down the steps, dies. She calls her husband because her husband even said, he was like, I regret even helping you cover this up." She calls her husband to come and help her because now the woman is dead at the bottom of that staircase, and he actually helps cover up the murder. So come to find out, Jackie ends up getting charged with murder, really 2 counts of murder because she got charged with murder and the unborn baby. Her husband hadn't been charged with anything as of yet. However, they weren't sure if he was still going to be on the team. Marcus and Vanessa got cleared of all charges. Everything is all good with them. Golden Goddess and her little African friend, they told each other that they really liked each other, and he asked her out on a real date. Because remember, she said, "This is the longest I've ever been around a man, and I don't think he ever tried to hit on me." And he was like, "Oh no, I think you're sexy, I think you're smart, I think you're beautiful, and I would love to spend time with you." And so that he asked her out on a date. So I thought that was cute that he still didn't try to push up on her. That, you know, he asked her out on a date. Then we see Terrence get reamed out, you know, by the detective who was like, "Look, I got to write this up because, you know, you violated. It helped us solve the crime, but the way you went about doing it was wrong. So I still got to write you up." So Terrence ends up getting suspended. He goes to Nia and tells Nia, "Look, you know, I want to be more than just your friend. You know, I want to be with you." Nia was like, "Look, Eric's moving to LA. We want to try to make this thing work." So I feel like that's a cliffhanger going into next season too, if they pick it up. But I'm gonna say this: This is one of my, well, I get a lot of hits off of these reviews. So if half the people that are watching the reviews are watching the show, it'll probably get picked up for another season. Um, then we see Marcus and Vanessa. They're out, they out by the pool, and they all lovey dovey and everything. And he offers her some champagne to toast to, there's basically toast to things working out. And she was like, "No, I can't really drink that." He was like, "Why not?" "Oh, are you pregnant?" And she's like, "Yeah." Now here's the dumb thing. Boo. Until you, because then we see her, Daniel call her, and she was like, "Daniel, I told you I can't talk to you anymore." And he was like, "I know." He said, "I just want to know, is the baby mine?" She don't know. She said, "Well, if he's yours, everybody will know. But maybe not, because your husband light skinned. Both y'all light skinned. You might get away with it. I don't know." But so he just so again, there's that cliffhanger. She was like, "Well, what are you going to do?" She said, "I don't know." My thing is, you need to figure out what you're going to do before you tell your husband you're pregnant. Because now you got two choices. You can either tell him the truth or fake a miscarriage if you decide not to keep the baby. Like, so why say anything to him until you figured out your game plan? But whatever. Because you could have just said, "I got a headache. I don't feel well. I don't really feel like drinking tonight." Like, you could have played that one off for a minute. But neither here nor there. So that's pretty much how the whole thing went down. So Jackie, remember we kept saying all along, I kept saying I ain't trust her. I didn't think she was the one did it. I just didn't trust her. I just knew she was sneaky. But honey. So there we go, you guys. That is Games People Play Season 1. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.